What's going on, man? It's your boy Kelvin Parker.
Mariah Brown.
And this is another episode of Go Talk. What's going on, man? It's your boy Kelvin Parker with Go, giving others ambition together. I got Miss Brown with me. About time I finally got you on the show, okay? So we here with Go Talk, bro, and we gonna talk mental health, right? Mental health, the Vision Project, Mariah Brown, all that. We're gonna talk all that. So let's first start off with the name, okay? Because I always like to talk about the name. Everybody get their name from here and there. Where did the Vision Project come from?
Just because I've always felt like I have a vision for my life, and I have a vision of what I wanted it to be, but I feel like God just directed my path, and so when it comes to Vision Project, I feel like we all have something that's a project like that we want in our life, and so our life is our Vision Project.
It makes a lot of sense, Mariah, because a lot of times, like you said, we have our own plans and our own personal things that we want done in life, but it's not God's plan.
Yep.
So yeah, having that vision, and then did it come to you in the middle of the night? Where did the name pop up? Be like, bam, you're like, all right, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it came from a scripture, Proverbs 29:18, where there's no vision, the people will perish. So like the people will run crazy when there's no vision, there's no direction, but when you have wisdom, like, and you stay faithful to it, like you're promised. You're promised what you said that you wanted.
For sure. And it makes complete sense. So we got the Vision Project, we know where we got the name from. How long you been rocking?
I've been rocking for a while, I started in COVID, and then just like anybody else, I was second guessing myself, like I didn't have all the material, I didn't have all the equipment, things weren't looking as great as I wanted, and then I kind of got over myself, and I was like, look, we're going to go all in, or we're not going to do it at all.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to embrace what I got, and then it's going to get better, because I know what I'm, doing.
Yeah, for sure. And I've been checking you out too on Facebook and social media, man. It's like you started, but it was like all or nothing at that point, so it was time to get serious. I see the look. You coming up with the videos, and you preaching with him, and him getting better and bigger. So man, I gotta respect.
I appreciate that. It's consistency, and not second guessing myself. Like I gotta have it all together. It's okay to just have it the way it is, because if you stay consistent with it, it's gonna get better.
For sure. So I ask you this because we need to get on the mental health side, right? So mental health, what is mental health to you?
I mean, mental health to me is real. I'm not saying with a period at the end of it. And it's real because it's been in my household, I see it in other people's households, and we don't talk about it. The saying of what happens in this house stays in this house. Where a lot of trauma happens in the house, so what do we do then? And we end up going to lash out on our relationships and our careers, breaking down, just not being healthy.
Well, they say black folks don't believe in counseling. They say you can't get it right at the crib, you guys ain't gonna get it right, but that's not a good mindset, because a lot of times, the way I think of it is this: a lot of people don't have people in their corner that they can just talk. Now, if you got a mom's or somebody that's gonna be neutral, or a father, somebody that's gonna keep it 100 with you or tell you when you're wrong or right, then it's different. But if you ain't got that, you need to reach out to somebody, right?
Yeah, and just going this summer, I plan to just go to people's doors. I remember in the morning, Jehovah's Witnesses used to come to our house, and it used to be so annoying. Man, I don't want to open the door, but they were so consistent.
Yes, sir.
They were gonna come.
Yes, sir.
Knew the message that they were putting out, and so I just decided that I'm gonna do that. Even if I have to go to people's doors, give them a flyer, they might not even want to see me, but it might be a day that they look down, they're like, yeah, I do need somebody to talk to.
I do. Today is the day.
Today is the day, and it's look, I'm there. Even if I can't help you, I'm not a selfish mental health provider.
This is what throws me for a loop. Alright, so you sitting in these sessions, you hearing what people gotta say, you basically taking in their bag. So I'm gonna ask you this: how do you separate that when you leave? Do you go home and you still think about these cases, or is it like a cutoff switch? I'm at the house, Mariah, stop thinking, don't work.
It's become a challenge. It is a challenge just because I do care about my clients, but at the same time, I'm entering a new part of my life, so I'm becoming a wife, and I have to make sure I'm catering to my family. So I do what I can do in that moment. Whatever I can do, I provide my clients with the resources to have to know it's okay.
You definitely got to hit a clock out time.
I have to. I'll bring notes home, everything, and I'm like, look, I can't do
day. They could tell me something and it's in my head at 12 at night.
Yes.
It drives me crazy. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, having that time where you can cut off and just do other stuff other than work.
Yeah, and it takes practice and consistency to do that. You're just not gonna do that immediately.
Yeah.
You know, you have to say, look, you know, just like my clients are a priority, my relationships are a priority too.
For
So
sure.
I have to put the same energy I'm putting in my clients or my work. I gotta put that in my relationship with my kids.
That makes a lot of sense to me. That makes a lot of sense. So let's get into another question.
Okay.
All right. So how do you? Let me ask you this. How do you inform people, or how do you know when it's time for you to see someone regarding mental health?
I mean, it just depends because, you know, it's circumstantial. Like, some people feel like it's okay to talk about their mental health at a certain part. Like, it can be like a trauma that happens. Other people can just be going through daily stressors. Like, it's just disposable service. So you come to therapy, you might only need to see me for 2 sessions. And then you're like, look, I'm good, I'm straight, I got the coping mechanism. Then you might come back a couple years later. So I just see them whenever they're ready. You can't force it on anyone.
Yeah, that does make sense. That does make sense. But the times, like you had just mentioned, you said sometimes they hit you when they do it. Is there a time to have a therapist when you're actually doing okay in life?
Yeah, it's great. Like, it's great. You might, like, but the thing with therapy, you know, you might be going through something and you need to see your therapist weekly. Then you might see your therapist bi-weekly. Then you might just need to do a check-in, like a maintenance, like once a month. Yeah, and then it's like, okay, you know what, can I come and see you every 2 months? I just want to chop it up, kind of decompress. And then you might say, hey, I got a lot going on right now. I need to see you a little bit.
And that's dope too, because like just having that person, like, because that's not gonna judge you, that's not gonna say, you know, just gonna sit there and listen. You feel me?
And that's why it's key to meet your clients where they are. Like, I don't come in there trying to change you. I just come in here like, hey, whatever you're presenting, you know, whatever you said you want to work on, I'm gonna hold you accountable to work on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So let's get into a little bit of the Mariah. Let's get into the, you know, so you've been a counselor how long? About
a little over 5 years. Yeah.
5 years, and you working? Do you currently work with someone now, or?
Okay, so I started with school-based, so I was seeing the kids at school.
Okay.
And then, like, with the counseling, you were under supervision. So after that, I ended up working for a counseling clinic, like a community health provider. And then I started branching off on my own. So, you know, I'm fortunate that I can still work with my company I work for and, serve, you know, a different population in Little Rock because they're not located in Little Rock. So that's really dope, and I appreciate that. So I can build up my clientele. So eventually I'll take that leap, you know, and just be a full-time entrepreneur. Right now, I don't feel like it's that time.
It's not time. Well, you building your way.
Yeah, I'm not yet person. Look, my bills got to get paid. You know, like, you know, I got to make sure I'm straight. So I'm not here, you know, telling you, hey, entrepreneur, kudos to the people that jump off.
For sure,
I just got a foot off, a foot back in. Just kind of
working your way. Working your way.
That's how it goes.
I get you. So in the vision project, we're talking vision project. So of course, you know, you got long-term goals, you got short-term goals. Let's talk about year end.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself? No, not where do you see yourself. Where do you want to be year end? Like with the vision project.
Honestly, I just want to have consistent content. Like, that's my goal in life. Because I feel like whatever I'm going to have is, people are going to see it. I want them to go back and see me from the beginning. Yeah. And just know I was consistent.
Oh, yeah.
Like with the videos. Because I know people, I go back and look at, like, celebrities or any other, you know, professionals or anybody in the spotlight. I look back at their old stuff.
Come on, man.
Like, you're like, dang, this person has grown, but they were so consistent with it. Yeah. And even if they didn't have, like, the lights and all that, they still were just, like, passionate.
You want to know what's crazy? Taylor told me last night, my wife Taylor, she told me last night, she said, Kelvin, you're different from other entrepreneurs because you don't mind starting from the bottom, like with your business. Like, some people have to go long, they want to do this and do that, but when you show these people that progress from when you started to where you are now, not only do they trust you, but they know you ain't always had it. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
and they know you're passionate. Like, you know, when somebody invests in me, I want to make sure I invest 100% in myself. Like, I believe in myself. Yeah. That means if you come up to me and you're like, hey, I don't believe in the vision project, I'm going to walk out still as confident as I was when I walked in.
For sure.
And I feel like some entrepreneurs, like, when someone tells them no, it's like, they get crushed. It's like, no, I got to make sure my spirit and stuff is, you know, lifted up. So when I get in those rooms, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Right now, we just preparing. We're preparing to be, we're preparing.
Then when you step in there, you you're gonna be like, all right, I've been doing this whole time.
You got a whole catalog. Just look at my website. Just look at my website.
Hey, I've been doing this since 2015 with
Just
no
look at
money.
my website. Just look at it.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So content. What else? What else by you?
Well, with counseling, we have a lot of insurances.
Yeah.
So like getting credentialed with all the major insurances, like Medicaid, Better, Qual Choice, like to make sure like my name is solid with my business and insurance. So when I'm going to people, I'm like, hey, I provided for you, but these are the insurance I'm credentialed with. Right now it's just Blue Cross Blue Shield and like a few other EAPs, but I want it to be like expanded.
But then if you get, to my understanding, if you get more insurance or more insurances cover you, then you can offer more free services, right? Is that right?
Oh, well, it just depends. You can get grants, so there are more grants and stuff available in the area. You do have to do research on the end. But, it's just continuing.
For sure. We got content, we got getting our insurance and everything together to make a better profit, of course. Let's talk about long term. Okay, so when I say long term goals, a lot of people don't understand. I mean, I want to hear the dreams.
You want to hear the dreams?
I want to hear the dreams, bro. I don't want to hear just the book story. I want to hear what not too big, ain't nothing too big.
Okay, I can tell you the dream, but I'm just going to break it out. Like, I want my division project to be in, like, major areas, but I want it to be, like, running. Like, how you have, like, some of these therapy places, but I want it to be, like, we partner with other businesses. So it's not just, like, oh, we provide therapy. It's like, look, we provide it to the, like, small business owner who doesn't have, like, insurance for their employees, but they offer these services to them. Yeah. And honestly, I just want to speak around the world about mental health. Like, I just want to be a public speaker and just travel and, like, partner people up. Like that's my vision. Like to travel with my kids.
Speak mental health.
And speak mental health and learn about it and learn about people in the field.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Have you heard of conferences and do y'all do stuff like that?
Yeah, we do conferences. You have, like, continuing education that you have to have every 2 years with your license. So it's 24 hours. Of course, like with COVID, you weren't able to go to conferences, but now they're back booming. So honestly, like
that's what it's
even Clubhouse, I've been on there and I've been like just putting myself out there, like and just talking to people. Some people have so many followers or they're well equipped, but in order to be a millionaire, I got to be around me.
Come on now,
so that's my motto. I got to be there. Look.
Let me touch elbow. Look.
Gotta be there.
Be in the area. For sure. We got short term. We got long term goals. Okay. We're gonna take a break. I bet. So we back. I had to go potty.
I did too. So we're back, fresh, ready to rock and roll.
Back. Alright. So we gonna get into. So when you think, a lot of times when people think therapy, when I think therapy, I think it's high. It's expensive. It's too much. I mean, it's not my budget. Tell us about the price ranges and how do I make it feasible for me, period?
Okay, so it really is about the relationship you have with your therapist. Some therapists, they're pretty rigid as far as their price ranges. For me, I'm not that way. Although I do provide you a service, so I would like to get paid for what I do.
Gotta get paid.
However, it's a sliding scale with it. So I have agreements with my clients. So like, hey, you might can't pay this, but this is the sliding scale I can offer. And we just have an agreement. They sign it, I sign it. So it's covering them, but it's also covering me as well.
It's legally binding.
There you go.
So basically, you're gonna work with it.
Yep.
Okay. Just like.
You got to.
That's like that old commercial. Come down here. You got a little money, a lot of money. Come on down here. I got something for you. Come on.
But of course, it depends on the work that you're doing. So if somebody's wanting you to do like extensive trauma work and things that they've been through, like that does cost. Like because you have to carry that. You have to do the research. Yeah, it's like I have to really do some research on the back end to make sure I'm suitable when I come. Because regardless, I don't care if you're paying out of your insurance or you're paying out of your pocket, you still don't get the same service.
Same service.
Like,
it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay, all right. So this pricing you reasonable. Let's talk about what comes in the set. Like, do you have like breakdowns of like things you offer? You get packages. do I get the platinum package or what? Like, what all do you offer with this whole therapy session?
Okay, so therapy, I think we've always seen it like from the movies. It's like come in there, lay on how you feel. It's really like it's like that, but it's not like that. Okay. It's kind of like somebody just comes in and you just laying it out, but it's questioning, so it's directing you so that I can some people like, oh, I'm just depressed. Okay, so are you not eating? What is your appetite? What is your sleep patterns like? How are your relationships?
So is that a different type of depression based on what they do?
Yeah, it can be different. It is a criteria for it. However, it gives us when you have to have the symptoms so that you can properly diagnose them.
Yeah.
I'm big on psychoeducation, so I don't want to diagnose someone, put someone their name without them understanding why they met the criteria.
I feel you.
Like you met it because I want to make sure you know why you met the criteria at that time of the diagnosis.
That makes a lot of sense. So you get this person walk in as the initial meeting.
Yes, which is an intake.
Okay, tell us about the intake.
The intake, like I said, with the questions, kind of on the background, religion, age, kind of their hobbies, what they enjoy doing, any past trauma, if they're on medication, and then from there you come up with like a treatment goal.
Then you leave.
No, you're still in session.
We still at the intro session.
You're still in the intro session. So the intro session is like an hour and a half.
Okay.
An hour 15, So you got the treatment goals. Now it's like, what are we actually working on? What are we progressing towards?
Okay. So now since you got these goals, gotcha.
Yeah, that's how you establish the goals. And then now you got all the meat. All that is solid.
Yeah.
So you come to the next session, you're not trying to find out what they're doing. Now you're just following them.
What goal did you scratch off?
Not even what goal did you scratch off. Hey, how are you doing today? How are you doing today? And then like let's unpackage. Maybe you're not reaching your goals. Let's talk about your childhood. Let's talk about things that you've been dealing with for a while. Your relationship patterns,
Ooh, you picking in there.
Like you just have to dig.
Nah, that take like a strong one or a preacher or somebody that can help.
Crazy.
Cause I'm not listening. Listen, hey, I own down the profession. I know it's needed. I know it's always somebody to talk to. I could be that person to talk to.
You have to actively listen to the client, so you have to actively listen to them and not hear what you want to hear, but hear what they're saying.
So when people present these problems to you, are you trying to solve them, or are you just trying to listen?
No, you're not trying to solve them because the client comes in, they solve their own problems. You're helping them navigate. I'm like a navigation system. Kind of like, when you start, like you're going in a direction and you got to reroute because you forgot, you left something in the back. Now you got to go all the way back around. That's what we do it, but you're still going from point A to point B, but we got to go all the way around because you didn't pick up the baggages from over Auntie's house.
Wow. So now when you at the end, you just answer your own question. Basically, because you got them around here, and then they like, oh, so this was
like you have an epiphany, like it's literally a light bulb moment. You like, some of my clients in session are like, oh, well, that's why this and this and this happened. Well, you said it, not me.
And a lot of times, the crazy stuff about it, somebody told me this yesterday. Like, say for instance, we're together, and I ask you, and I tell you about the stuff that I'm going through, and you tell me something. And just because you're my lady or you're my spouse, I don't like it because it's coming from you. You feel me? So now I go holler at my homeboy, and he tell me, or a therapist or whatever, and they tell me the same thing you told me, but it gets through to me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man. Just having that extra person you can call, you can talk to, about all those things, man. I love it. I love what you're doing too, man.
Yeah, mental health is like key, focusing on my own mental health too. So like, as a therapist, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I know it all because I do my own work too. Yeah. So it's like, look, I'm helping you navigate, but when I'm done, I drop your baggage off.
It's after I didn't sit there and listen to you.
After I listen to, but that's after I listen to several clients. So you can see like 8 clients in one day. Like, what are you talking about? This is not like a one client thing.
Bro, y'all superwoman in
like, you see 8 clients in, every time you go in,
they
it's like,
put stuff on your back. Here.
It's like, hey Derek, how you doing? Hey Becky, how you doing?
Here.
Hey Amber.
Look, every time you say hey, they throwing it at you.
And sometimes it ain't how you doing. Sometimes you just read their body language and it's like, today is not their day.
You just walked into it.
Yep.
Boy, it's crazy. Now, Mariah, I know you've been doing this for a minute, but with no company is it ever just now I know it's your name, your business, but you have help along the way. Talk about some people that have helped you, maybe inspired you, some mentors that you may have.
Yeah.
Anyone that helped you along the way to where you are now with the business.
Well, first off I want to say God, because that's number one, And then underneath that, I would have to say, my fiance, like he's been the biggest support system for me, like in terms of like not dimming my light but allowing it to shine and bloom till I feel like it shouldn't even be shining. I really appreciate him for being in my life and really bringing that out of me. You know, my mom, I have some mentors that I remember, Cicely and Tasha, they'll know who they are when they watch this video.
Yeah.
And Ashley, when I tell you, they help me out so much. Like, some of them, they own their own private practices, and so, like, black women just doing their thing. Like, some of them I connected, I could go on a list of people, but just my mom, you know, my mom and my dad, like, they know my thoughts are everywhere. My family is so supportive. You know, so honestly, I got a big support system, but it's really on me to have a dream and me to be consistent with it.
Oh yeah, they can be there. They can be there to push you, but they ain't gonna put the work in with you. You feel me? So yeah, I definitely agree. All right, so how can social media rise?
Okay, yeah, so you can go to the Vision Project on Facebook. You can go to my website at thevisionproject.com. Pro-J, not project, but it's project.com. Also, you know, you can just connect with me in my inbox at Mariah Janae. I mean, therapy is very informal. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I need to talk to her perfect. It's just, hey, whatever it is, I'll give you a follow-up phone call. You can check me out on Psychology Today.
One more question. So, if they wanted to reach out to you, now I did need to ask this: is it free to just want to talk, or now I know that's your job and it's a consultation, but let's just say if you've never been to therapy a day in your life, and I just want to see if it's for me. You see what I'm saying? Like, do we reach out to you, or do you start building as soon as you say hello? You see what I'm saying? Like, hello.
What's your insurance? What's your birthday? No, it's not like that. So, like, yeah.
That's what you mean informal.
Yes, I have to see, like, hey, are we even a good fit for each other? Like, I may have to refer you to another provider that can really help you out. It's some things are out of the scope of my practice that I can't say that I can help you out with because I just don't have the experience in it. But you talking to me, it's just like, hey, let me just see where you at so we can help you out.
For sure. Mariah, man, I'm gonna say this, man. This is the 4th episode of Go Talk. You on here with me, man. I appreciate you giving me your time. I know it's getting late, it's dark. We still out here getting it in.
I'm so appreciative. I'm happy with you. Like,
we
I'm
here.
supporting your vision. Like, this is what you're doing. This is your vision project.
Yes, man.
You know, you're consistent with it. You're growing. You're just gonna stay, you know, powerful. You never know who's watching you.
I appreciate that, Mariah. Hey, man, next time for Go Talk, Mariah, Kelvin Parker, go giving others ambition together. We have.